don't believe. No, he does not have it. He is going to move in for a big attack. And there are all the force fields. So Gubis is not burrowing his forces, it appears. There we go. There's finally the burrow, forcing those zealots to not engage, to just take the damage. Right now, Gubis going to push back out with all of those roaches, trying to do a lot of damage. Exo moving in, and he is going to kill a huge amount of roaches. And even if everything were to die right now, he could reinforce so quick. He is bringing stalkers around the side. Gubis is losing everything. Exo up by 40 supply. And Gubis pulling all of his drones at the moment, and it may be time for him to tap out here very quickly.
Yeah, looks like all these drones going to be slowly dying and taking out a good amount of stalkers, but the problem is his economy has now just been crippled. He is desperately trying to expand to the north center location there, but it's all just kind of too little too late, and you know, being unable to capitalize with that burrow aggression after cutting so many drones, he's just been unable to get back in this game, and it looks like we'll be going to an ace match.
Yeah, an ace match. Not much more you can hope for out of these two teams to start the game. We are going to be going into Game 5. There's the GG, and Exo takes this game for University of Houston. Okay, guys, so we're going to get that ace match started for you very, very soon. I am the Cats of Pajamas. This is Annabeezy alongside me. We are broadcasting again the CSL Playoffs Round of 32 action, and I am thrilled to bring it to you guys. So we're going to move into the ace match. We'll be back here in just 1 second after this short break. Okay, so while that's on, I'm going to go ahead and save these files. Let's see, that was Exo versus Gubis. Cool. So I hope you guys have enjoyed everything. Like I said, love to see the enthusiasm for the individual schools out here. That is just awesome, and something I wish that I could have been a part of when I was in college, to be perfectly honest. And
yeah. A lot of fun, and I will just give a quick shout out to all my homeboys watching at Dalhousie. I know a ton of people are tuning in, so that is my team. So big shout out to all of them out there.
Nice, very nice. I could shout out to University of Missouri St. Louis if they had a StarCraft team, but unfortunately they don't. So we're just going to move into the next match here, and let's see here. So we're just getting things started. I guess both teams are deciding on their ace. I don't know exactly how they decide that, if they confer with each other, or one team is forced to pick first, if they're the higher seed or the lower seed, or, yeah, as Gila Boy is telling me that they are waiting for the teams to make choices. I'm not sure how that's done, actually, but I guess we will find out.
I believe they both just are aware that the map is Metalopolis, and they just pick whoever they want and send that to the administrator. So they're not going to. Neither team will know who they're against. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see who they pick. I mean, I know Exo would probably be a big choice. I know Trimaster is very good, but he didn't really perform as good as one would expect, so it'll be interesting to see who the University of Houston picks. And then for New York, I don't quite know who they're going to pick either, so it's going to be pretty exciting. It is, of course, on Metalopolis, so you might think twice about sending out a Zerg, because, of course, the close spawn locations are just so very challenging for Zerg players.
Okay, so yeah, I like you said, I am kind of curious to see who they end up picking. I know most of the time that I think I've casted University of Houston 2 or 3 times now, as they've been having me follow the Nova and Leviathan divisions thus far as I have been casting. And University of Houston thus far has gone to Trimaster in their ace situations, but like you mentioned before, his TVT was a little rough, and just from the play that I've seen so far, I have to assume that Railgun is going to be the choice out of NYU unless they have someone to pull off the bench in an ace situation. And I don't know if they necessarily want Trimaster to have a rematch of that. So we'll find out here in just a minute when both of our teams do select. Sorry, guys. I'm definitely not feeling 100% today. I don't know if I'm catching a cold or what the case may be. But hopefully I'm not coming across as all that sick sounding.
You sound great.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm kind of like half in La La Land, but that's okay, because you know, when you kind of like subconsciously work on things rather than just completely focusing on them, it tends to bring out the best in you. At least that's what happens when I play Minesweeper, and so I figure that carries over to every principle in life.
Yeah.
All
Minesweeper, a great warm up for StarCraft 2.
All right. So yeah, but as you mentioned before, Adebisi, yeah, I will actually be out in Indianapolis to cast the Collegiate Esports Invitational as well. So really looking forward to that event. Looking forward to what comes out of the CSL here very soon. Callaghan saying that Minesweeper requires too much APM nerf, please. I agree. I hate whenever you get like that perfect round, that 100-second time. You think you're just going to break that 100 seconds, and then you're forced. You have like a 50-50 shot, and you have to pick the last mine. And you always get it wrong. That happens to me every time I play.
Oh. Yeah, I always hated that too. I would always just play on the beginner mode and then try and beat it as fast as possible. I think I could do it in like 14 seconds if the random positioning of the mines was in a way that, it would immediately, pop up. That's what I would do. I found the big one just too time consuming. I just didn't have the patience. And it looks like Railgun and Exo both in the lobby, so this is going to be a TVP.
That I really, really am. I think these two players are relatively evenly matched. So decided to, so that's awesome. Hopefully I'm not lagging. Try to restart Chrome, so sorry if I come across sounding like a robot for just a second, but looks like we're good to go now. So there we go. Railgun throwing the, oh god. And hey, good point. I probably should ref us. There we go.
Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty happy with the choices here. I am loving TVP lately. I think this is actually the most dynamic and fun matchup in the game, really, right now, especially with 1.3. Really liking how this matchup feels.
Yeah, definitely.
Even though sometimes,
because I think we're going to start moving over to a little, not even a ton, but just slightly more mech heavy play, and I think it's going to be slightly more double forge heavy play out of Protoss players, which I think is going to make an amazing, amazing, amazing dynamic.
And it looks like both players are ready, so we're going to get this ace match on the road.
All right, so indeed, there it is. Ace match starting. Countdown has begun. We're going to move into the next match here very, very soon. As soon as everyone decides to load, of course, let me go ahead and load this. As my Chrome shut down, I'm not going to have the relevant stats for these players. I know Railgun's 2200 Masters Terran, Exo is a 3900 Masters Protoss, so we'll get about that far, and then we'll move on from that. But, okay, as I am definitely taking a year and a half to load, but that's okay. And we'll begin recording here in 3, 2, 1, go. So thanks, guys, for joining us again. This is the Cat's Pajamas. I am alongside Adebisi. We are broadcasting the Collegiate Starling in ace match between the University of Houston and New York University here at the 9 o'clock position on Metalopolis. We have our purple Terran player. He is Railgun, a 2200 level Masters Terran player. He did take a game off of Trimaster earlier, a 4,000 rated Masters Terran player, so this guy definitely knows his stuff. His opponent here at the 12 o'clock position is 11 Gaming's Exo. Exo is a 3,900 rated Masters Protoss player and did handily dispatch his Zerg opponent in the last match that we just spec'd. So this promises to be a very, very good matchup, and we are spawning close positions.
Yep, definitely going to kind of bias things towards 1 or 2 base play. Really going to be hard to cut the map in half with this kind of spawn locations. And also, just as this match is getting away, a big shout out to both TT Esports and Justin.tv for sponsoring the prize pool for CSL, because, of course, there's actually a lot on the line here. And once again, this is just one game, and the loser here will see their team eliminated. So going to be a lot of pressure on both of these players here.
Oh, definitely. Railgun is jumping up right away with a barracks, going into a refinery after that on 13, I believe. So everything looking fairly standard at this point. He's going to move out an SEV Scout now. Find that probe scout for Exo very, very quickly. He'll find out that that's not for any sort of cheese or proxy play, that they are, in fact, close positions by ground, and that's a pretty normal scout. And this probe for Exo trying to get in here, do a little bit of damage. Exo already with his gateway down, going right into his assimilator. Oh, excuse me. Of course, we'll find out here pretty quickly what he decides to transition to with how quickly of a second gas he decides to get.
Yeah, absolutely. That second gas timing is so very telling. Looks like he is going to be getting out a Zell, which is a great choice. I think it makes you just so much safer with the proxy spawn locations. There's actually some really scary Terran builds that you can actually do involving proxying, involving cutting SCVs. I was watching the FX Open tournament, and Marine King Prime was doing some crazy stuff, cutting SCVs at like 11 and just rushing with Marauders. And if you get there before any sentries out, you just do a ton of damage. Meanwhile, it does look like Railgun's going to want to be pretty aggressive here as he throws down that second barracks pretty damn quick, also getting out Concussive Shell nice and fast too. And he's got this SCV just continuing to run circles in his opponent's base, getting all the information, keeping very close eye on the Chrono Boost, I'm sure, noting the second gas geyser there, and possibly even trying to see where the third pylon will be going down, because it looks like Exo not with a third pylon out quite yet, and he's going to need that pretty damn soon, or else he does run the risk of getting supply block. But it looks like he might just be cutting that briefly to get out this second gateway even faster.
I think we're going to see, potentially a warp gate rush here. It may not be. We may end up seeing a robo, but there's the third gate, and Exo is spending 3 consecutive chrono boosts on warp gate technology. So, I mean, it leads me to believe that we're going to see, there it is! Yes, there is the 4 gate coming up. So, 4 gate on the way, but Railgun is moving out with a Marauder, a Marine, and a couple of SCVs. Probably wants to do a little bit of bunker work, use those SCVs to absorb a little damage here.
This could be so devastating because he cut his pylons to get those gateways up. He's just got so few units, and he's definitely going to need to pull some probes off the lines here. And if he just goes ahead and focuses that Stalker, he can kite the Zella endlessly. Looks like he just wants to take out that Zell first, though. And now Warp Gate is complete, so he's going to be able to going down. And if that bunker gets completed, this could almost be GG, but here come 2 additional Stalkers. Probes coming off the line, and it looks like he should be able to stabilize, and that's good for him.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we'll see how much he's going to actually be able to do in return. A Reaper actually joined the fight as well. The Reaper just kind of sitting around the Manx statue, now running to the gold for a little while. And Exo going to move out with his Stalkers again. Sorry, guys, if there was a little bit of lag. Apparently my ISP being a little touchy tonight. That is on my end. That's no fault of the stream. That's no fault of the CSL. That is just on my end. So sorry about that again, guys. We'll try and work through this. Pylon is coming up for Exo now, as he wants to move up with these Stalkers pretty aggressively, but Railgun about to finish these bunkers. Is he going to be able to get them done? And let's see, one Marauder may hit down here very quickly, and I am lagging again.
Just right up in the Terran's face, and there you go, lag clearing up. Hopefully it's not too bad. Meanwhile, the Stalker's just trying to charge back to the mineral line. There's also a sentry in the mix here that looks like it's going to get picked off. Does throw down a force field, and these Stalkers are just completely trapped, and the SCV is going to be cleaning those up. And with the 2 bunkers complete, Railgun's going to be in a pretty good spot here.
Yeah, and so Exo does have his last Stalker cleaned up. Let's take a look at the units tab now. Appears as though Railgun is up 16 workers to 14. Of course, he has those mules as well. So again, I'm really sorry about that. I don't know what the where the issues are coming from. That's not usual. It's not usual for this ISP setup. So very sorry. One more time, guys. If you're having any problems with the stream, just go ahead and refresh. So anyway, so. Hopefully, there we go. Just refresh if... All right, so sending that out there. Refresh if need be. He hears fighting. We're back, guys! Look at that, we're back! So right now, yes, probes down. Just one to the amount of SCVs that are out for Railgun, but Railgun does have up his mule. And so we'll see. He is on 3 racks now, going to a factory to support this, probably just for the purpose of putting up a starport and then going into a little bit of MMM play. But we'll see what he ends up moving to, as he does not have any intention of putting up an expansion, it looks like.
Yeah, definitely not really the position where you want to expand too quickly. He's seen his opponent charging into his base, which is basically a sign that there are at least 4 work gates up, so definitely going to be a lot of units out for Protoss as he adds in, looks like, a reactor. He does still also have that Reaper up, just holding the Zelnaga Tower for now. Might want to think about trying to scout out the Protoss expansion soon, because you don't want to throw down that command center too late, but of course he might actually just go for a nice kind of timing here with a couple medevacs, maybe move out when combat shield is finished, because you can see he's getting a ton of Marines. And the thing about doing something like this is you need to be very careful, because towards basically once Protoss gets any Colossus out, the Marines just diminish in value so quick that it's scary to rely on, and it looks like